The first time you hit the button. No, it is. It is. Yeah, it is. Hi. We were having a discussion about buttons. Monkey buttons, friends.
So many monkey buttons.
I'm wearing my shirt from Principal Schaefer and her family. I love it very much. I got a package this morning that I thought was viewer submitted unsolicited present of some point. Turned out to be spam. It wasn't a package at all. It was a notification for a package. I rushed downstairs. I said, who sent me something? Nobody did. The internet sent me badness instead. Good morning, friends. How are you?
Everyone.
It's not the morning. It's the morning in California. I'm sure someone out there is from California. I want to start today by saying, hello, Emily. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hello, Emily.
Hold on.
What?
I feel like we haven't quite started our agenda yet.
We haven't. I just wanted to get to it right away, just in case I forgot later. But how could I forget?
Slim, we appreciate you for encouraging everyone to like the video.
Thank you, Slim.
Yes.
Thank you, Slim. Shall we get right
to the agenda? I feel like Matthew was skipping ahead on the agenda,
I did the agenda in the middle of the night again.
Oh, and you don't remember anything that we're supposed to do.
I might be making some promises that I cannot fulfill. What does this say? Hello, friends.
Hello, we can do that.
Hello, friends. Hello. I can do that. I don't.
What?
Say hello to Emily.
Oh, see, I know it was on there.
Hello, Emily. I want to say hello to you again.
Thank you for watching.
We love you, Emily. All right. Say happy. Okay.
Oh, happy birthday to Charlie.
We're not just going to say it.
Please.
Everybody join us.
Sing.
We're going to do, because it's Charlie's birthday.
It is Charlie's birthday.
I wish I remembered exactly how old Charlie is. He's not 12. Maybe he's 7. Maybe he's 6. Somewhere in there. Maybe Charlie want to clarify?
Should have figured that out
first. He seems, well, anyway.
He
Charlie.
seems a man of many years.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlie. Happy birthday to you. This is the second time we have sung Happy Birthday to Charlie today, because today, when Charlie woke up, he had a birthday scavenger hunt created by his parents, in which there were various videos directing him to different clues and presents, and we were one of the stops on the video tour, and that was super exciting to us. Can we show a photograph of our friend Charlie with one of his gifts today? What you don't know about Charlie is that he's not just an ordinary young man. He is a professional ninja, an armed to the tooth ninja.
He's actually not named Ham.
What? Why does it say Ham? Why does it say Ham?
I'm trying a new thing.
Why does that say Ham?
I set up a slideshow. It asked me to name the slideshow. There's going to be Ham in the slideshow later on.
Robbi, I think Charlie is offended by the indication that he has anything to do with Ham. That should have said fierce. It should have said ninja. It should have said birthday. It should have said Charlie. There are so many. Oh, Robbi!
I'm sorry.
Robbi's technologically badness is on display. All right, let us go to something a little less controversial. The drinking of the water.
Wait.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
Happy birthday, Charlie. Nobody saw the agenda. Please.
Wow.
Put the agenda back up.
The agenda just said drink water.
Oh.
Cheers, ching chin.
Cheers,
Charlie,
Prost.
Charlie, Emily, get your water, Emily. Emily, Charlie. Just because it's Emily's day of recognition and Charlie's day of birth, that does not exempt you from drinking water. Water must happen every day. Hydration knows no bounds, friends.
I say, jackety?
Dancin'. I'm trying very hard never to spill water on myself again. Because that time that I did, Robbi...
You spilled it all over your lap.
I did.
Was
do you know why? What is right under my mouth when I'm drinking? It is my lap. Gravity dictated where the spillage happened, Robbi. There was no way around it. That's just what's going on. If I sat like this, I could spill it in your lap. Is that what you prefer?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to spill the water in your lap from now on.
I have a new shortcut on my phone where I can mark...
Are you teaching the children the technology?
I just barely learned the technology myself. Log water.
Oh, did any of you
How many fluid ounces of water did I drink? 8? 12?
I think that's 12. When I put a Coke in here for you, it fills it up.
Oh.
All right?
12.
Uh-oh, silent burp. Okay, friends.
Yes?
Everybody's saying happy birthday to Charlie. That's super nice. I love it.
You guys are so nice.
Okay, what does that say? That says
photographic documentation of the great New Jersey ham controversy.
Friends, we told you yesterday about Taylor ham.
Hold on. I just want to interrupt and say that if the theme of the week this week had been ham, Matthew might have won, because I do think that there's a lot to be said about Taylor ham and that nobody outside of New Jersey cares about it. However, Ham was not the theme of the week, in spite of the fact that I named Charlie's slideshow after it.
Okay, Robbi, the second that you put ham on Charlie, then it became equally important as the official theme of the week. Okay?
The unofficial theme of the week. The official theme of the week, to remind you, is still balloons.
But our readers, the intelligent, meaningful readers that guide the ship that is the Robbi and Matthew show, said that I should write a story about ham. And ham that wanted money. Or was it money that wanted ham?
Money
it was
that
money that wanted
ham.
Ham became relevant at that moment. It is dictated. It is an edict of our readers' desire
The balloons
for ham-related
were the most
content.
important part of that
We are
story,
going to talk.
and yet we've
Yesterday,
veered into ham.
we told you that in the state of New Jersey, there's a north-south division between those who describe a certain type of meat product as Taylor ham and a certain group that describes it as pork roll. So I'm still not entirely certain about this. There's a sandwich called a pork roll.
Right.
And in the sandwich called pork roll is a product called Taylor ham. So there's a pork roll.
That's a pork roll.
It's got some Taylor ham in it. It's got some egg in it. It's got a bun. Okay, that's a pork roll. But I think some people refer to this sandwich as a pork roll, or some people refer to what goes into the sandwich as a pork roll. Show them the Taylor ham. Look, this is the Taylor ham itself. See, it says Taylor. It's not really ham.
Well, look, no, this says pork roll on it.
Well, it's a Taylor pork roll.
John Taylor
pork roll.
Pork roll.
So some people...
the roll is not... this is what my question was.
All right.
Was the roll referring to the bread?
No, I think
like a bread roll?
This is a pork roll.
This is a roll of pork.
But it's not even pork. It's not pork, apparently.
Oh, it's not.
It's kind of like bologna, or it's like it's a composite.
It does not look delicious.
That is an opinion. I think it looks delicious.
Well, I think
you've
it
seen
looks
the
more
sandwich.
delicious there.
I think they fried it. It might be spam-like. I don't know.
So the people in Jersey who refer to this as a pork roll,
Please proceed to the next slide.
Okay.
There are people who argue about whether it should be called a pork roll, true Jersey pork roll. What does it say? Cures what ails ya. Or there are those who call it Taylor ham. This is great. National Taylor Ham Day, January 1st through December 31st. People take this controversy seriously, you guys.
Yes.
If you go to New Jersey, make sure A, you know what you're talking about, and B, pick a side. Or change your side depending on whether you're in north or south.
Are you going to be a Taylor ham or a pork roll?
Or do you want to change like the weather in New England? All right, friends. Now you know more than you did before.
Wow.
The next thing on the item is photographic documentation of the great
New Jersey resident named Rich.
So one time, Robbi and I drove across the southern tier of Canada with a very tall, powerful, intelligent, handsome, charming man named Rich, who sat in the back seat and said such funny things that Robbi laughed for 21 hours.
I laughed the entire trip. I
said, I thought I was funny before.
You guys don't know
comparison
Rich.
to Rich. Oh my goodness. I wanted to show you a picture of Rich because to understand Rich fully, you must behold him with your eyes. There is no Rich evidence on the internet.
Rich is like
it's
a
like
vampire.
He's invisible. He doesn't want to be seen. So anyway,
or
Rich,
who is it that can't be seen in mirrors? Is that vampires?
Rich is not a vampire.
Rich is like a vampire.
He's like a vampire. He's not a vampire. I'm pretty sure Rich is not a vampire. If Rich were a vampire, Robbi would have no blood.
I would know it.
No blood. He would come and feast on all of your blood. And then maybe... Anyway, there were National Taylor Ham underwears that I decided not to show you because it's children's programming.
Well,
just know there's underwear with these things on it too. Yes, all right?
They really
Moving
care
on.
about it. Wait,
Robbi,
there's a little red arrow there.
Did you add something to the agenda? Balloon. I can't even read that. What does that say?
You should show it. I'm sure other people can read it.
Balloon experiment.
Balloon
Are we going to show a little Principal Schaefer action?
Yes.
Principal Schaefer's been busy with her mom doing things in the yard that are interesting and balloon related.
That is not what I'm talking about. I'm saving that for tomorrow. This is a separate balloon experiment that you can do at home. I did
you have to do it at home because you're at home.
A quick Google search on it.
Okay.
That it might go awry.
Okay.
I have... This is vinegar, guys.
I was going to say, what's in there? What's in there, Robbi? Did Jasper have something to do with this? Jasper's learning how to pee inside of things.
In the potty.
Instead of inside of his pants.
No, just inside of a potty.
Okay, all right.
Not inside of the...
Are
you
vinegar. Sure?
I didn't have white vinegar. I had a gallon of apple cider vinegar.
Don't waste my apple cider vinegar on an experiment. Okay.
Here's the thing.
What?
The experiment that Principal Ella, won her science fair with involved yeast.
Oh. We're not wasting our yeast.
We're not wasting our yeast.
We're going to put that in the bread.
Yeast is a high commodity item right now.
We had to wait many weeks for the yeast to arrive.
Or a high-priced commodity right now, yes.
All right.
So we're not wasting our yeast. So the next best thing was vinegar and baking soda.
Okay.
Which I also don't really want to waste, but look how old this is. This has been sitting in our fridge, in our fridge for about 12 years.
We've got some better baking soda now. All right. How are you
going
to get that in there?
No, it's not going in there.
It's not?
It's not.
Okay, what's going to happen? I want to know what the... Okay,
so
guys,
to see if there was an expiration
go get
date
Jasper and convince him to pee in a cup.
That's not pee.
Are you
Vinegar.
sure?
It doesn't work with pee, you guys.
All
I don't think this experiment works with pee.
Okay.
So what we have to do is we have to get a balloon.
Okay.
You're going to measure out a tablespoon.
How are we going to get that inside the balloon?
That was the part that I wasn't here. We're going to use the agenda.
I'm going to start with smaller quantities,
makeshift
Robbi.
funnel.
I'm going to be not like my... Oh, we're going to funnel it in?
We're going to funnel
You guys,
it in.
I don't think this is going to end well.
This is how Robbi does things.
We didn't practice
Always
this.
at the last minute.
We did not practice this at all.
Here we go.
All right. Ugh. Make sure you have a friend. This is hard to do by
Yes.
yourself. All right. Or an enemy, but as long as it's a cooperative enemy.
Yeah.
A friend or a cooperative enemy is all you need here today. All right. It's in there.
Okay.
Now we got to shickle-shackle it down. You shickle-shackling it?
I'm shickle-shackling, but it's not going.
Here. No, I think we need to help the balloon expand. So.
Oh, you can't expand it by removing it from the bottom
Robbie's
of the
got
funnel.
a lap full of baking powder now.
You're
Serves her
not
right.
actually expanding it. You're squeezing it tight. There we go.
Did any shickle-shackling happen?
No, it's not going. Okay, hold on.
Oh, this is not... Here, maybe...
I needed to make the opening a little bit bigger.
Can I help you? Or is this just a one-person enterprise? One could argue that we could have done this part by ourselves beforehand.
It's way more fun.
Entertaining to
and
see
entertaining
the failure
to see Robbi pour it all over her keyboard. Can you move my keyboard?
Yeah.
Keep moving it. Keep moving it. Oh, well, if our stuff wasn't so lumpy, this would have worked a little better. Look at that giant lump you put in there.
Who? What? I didn't do that.
Wait.
What?
I need to...
Do we need a full tablespoon, or can we proceed with this experiment?
No. Well,
do we have a funnel somewhere?
Well...
You guys, this is not what we were supposed to be showing you. What?
There was a giant ball of stuff stuck in there.
And whose fault is that, Matthew?
Hey, guys, guess what?
Don't ask. If Matthew is your enemy, don't ask him to help you.
This experiment is already going off the rails.
There is so much white powder everywhere over here, and it's not delicious. Baking soda is not delicious. I could write a song called that.
You know what? Something else that I learned about baking soda?
Gosh. Robbi, can we use just what we have?
No, I gotta do all of this.
Oh
Here.
my gosh. All right.
Okay.
Well, the rest of the agenda, all 11 items that remain, are going to be watching Robbi put baking soda into a balloon very, very slowly.
There! I did it!
You did it?
I did it!
How did you get that fastness at the end?
I dumped most of it on my hand.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how.
All right.
Da-da-da-da!
Oh my gosh.
Da-da-da-da! You know, if you watch this on YouTube with real experimenters, doesn't look like this.
Oh, man.
Just telling you.
We are real experimenters.
So,
We're just
open this
bad
up.
real experimenters.
Wow, this smells terrible, first of all. Everything smells
Well,
bad
it's going
right
to smell
now.
worse when I open the pea up. All right, here we go.
Okay. So
Vinegar!
you put the balloon on top of the thing.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you dump it in.
Oh, what's... Oh, this is very exciting!
And it blows up the balloon because...
is this going to explode?
I hope not.
Oh my gosh, is this going to like take off and
You
fly?
know what? I didn't even...
It's getting so like... Oh.
I didn't put as much vinegar in here as I could have.
Right,
Because
Jasper ran out of... Look at that, it's bubbling and
because I didn't
burbling.
want to waste it.
That's so exciting.
What's happening? Oh, I still see some stuff there.
So what is happening?
So...
Is there a chemical reaction happening?
There's a chemical reaction. Carbon dioxide is being released.
Robbi, you're supposed to know this. We have to teach science and not just shenanigans.
I know. I looked it up and I can't remember. Somebody look up what happens when vinegar and
I know. Slim can do this.
Soda.
Slim,
yes.
Tell us what's actually happening in here.
Baking soda.
Oh, look, we have a wow happening.
Here, this is the question that I have.
What?
Nobody explained this to me in any of the short video that I watched for 5 seconds. Is that once the CO2 goes away, that means that the reaction... I thought a reaction was that all of the chains of the different things that are in vinegar and baking soda break apart, and they reconnect as carbon dioxide, right? Is that what happens?
Robbi, you're asking me this? I don't know.
Okay.
I did not prepare for this agenda item.
Everything is made up of these chains of elements. What are they?
Molecules?
Molecules.
Yeah.
Chains. And then I thought that what happened was that they break apart, and then the extra C's and the extra O2s combine together to make the gas that comes out of it. But does that mean that it's no longer vinegar and baking soda inside the bottom?
I do believe that when
turns
things
into something
recombine,
else?
they become something else.
Yes, but the CO2 became something else. But does that mean the vinegar and the baking soda also became something
Maybe
else?
some of the baking soda and some of the vinegar became something else, but I'm sure that some of the vinegar remains vinegar. I think it depends on the ratios.
Here's the thing.
What?
I know that you can tenderize meat by putting baking soda on the meat.
You change the chemical composition of the meat a little bit.
Right, but my question is, so as not to waste this,
is it tender vinegar
could I
now?
tenderize meat with vinegar and baking soda, or is it no longer vinegar and baking soda?
You can bet your bippy I'm not going to waste that vinegar.
Some scientist
That's what I'm saying.
who's not an author or illustrator. No, you could be also an author or illustrator.
So are we changing the nature of this show to asking provocative questions of our viewers instead of answering them?
I thought it would be a fun experiment, but then it caused more questions for me. I didn't...
It was fun. I think we just have to stop shy of saying that we're going to offer any valuable information, and we're just going to show you amusing stunts.
That was an experiment.
Yes.
The experiment really was to show you a balloon blowing up, which we could have done with our lips.
No, this was more exciting, plus my lips are tired.
And we don't know anything more about science than we did when we started.
Someone in the thread made an observation that, first of all, who says Kansas is so great? That's one thing he said. And then he said, Matthew, that's Missouri, not Kansas. Two totally valid points.
Astute.
One, Kansas is as great as the sum of its parts, okay? Like anything else. That's what I will say.
Wow.
I grew up there.
Come on. Is not a very
Listen, I am part of the sum of the parts of Kansas.
Kansas.
I am part of the sum of the parts of Kansas.
All right.
Which means Kansas is magnificent. Missouri. Okay, so the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl this year. The Kansas City Chiefs are from Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri is a city. Kansas City, Kansas is a city. The Chiefs are associated with Kansas City, Missouri. A prominent American congratulated the Chiefs on their victory, but got confused about what state they were in and said, congratulations to the great state of Kansas. Those who thought the prominent American should have known what state Kansas City were in made this shirt to lightly jest on his behalf. That is what I will say. My friends, the Schaefers, sent me this shirt because they know I am from Kansas and because that I enjoy a good jest at the behalf of this particular American. That is as far as we will go. What? Are you going to start talking about science again, Robbi? It's dangerous territory. I finally got people to stop thinking about the science, and you're going to go right back there. Why?
I was going to say, in the original experiment that Principal Schaefer did with the yeast, you put everything into the balloon, and then you tied off the balloon. And then over time, the balloon would expand. And you could see if you mixed yeast with sugar or if you mixed it with honey. Or if you
measured the diameter of the balloon to see how much.
Yes, to see if sugar made it expand more or honey made it expand more. So she did all those things. Guess what? We don't have a ruler, so we can't measure how big it expanded. And we didn't do the experiment properly in the first place.
Why are you telling them this?
I just wanted to say, if you want to run a real experiment, listen to Principal
crawled
Ella, not
out
Robbi and Matthew.
of the indignity of the yeast balloon portion of the experiment, time present tense, and we had moved on. What do we have here? Oh, we've got more talk about... Robbi, we have a main event that we haven't even started yet.
I know.
So I'm a little concerned about the future of the show. Robbi paints
her balloon drawing.
While Matthew tells a story about his youth.
Wow.
I've got to think about my youth. That was one of those 3 o'clock in the morning things that sounded good at the time. How about this? Can you guys ask some questions? And I will answer the questions while Robbi does her painting. I'm putting it on you guys. What do you want to know either about me or about Robbi? I will either tell you true things about me or lies about Robbi. So go ahead and ask questions. She will be too busy painting to defend herself. And so I can make up extravagant stories about Robbi and how she prefers Taylor ham to pork rolls or things like that. She's never had either one.
While you are thinking...
Do you have string? Who has string these days, Amy? While we were thinking what?
While you are thinking, I would like you to picture yourselves in a beautiful field.
Oh, it's like we're in the great state of Kansas. That's what it seems like to me.
Of some kind of something or others. What is that? Weeds?
You guys, Robbi is going to paint in the balloon drawing from yesterday, the balloon bicycle drawing. That is the next. Grant wants to know where I'm from. That is a complicated question, you guys, but I'm going to answer it. And at some point, Robbi is going to say,
"Wow,
why did you answer that in such a long-winded way?" So
okay, so guess what?
What? Now are you going to interrupt my answer?
Well, yes, I am. Because I just wanted to let everyone know.
I don't want to make them look at the weed anymore. Can we let them look at the painting now?
Sure.
Yeah, these poor people.
If you're going to...
Yes, I'm going to get away from you.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
If you are planning on doing your painting,
Yes.
I would encourage you not to do a balloon experiment in which you spill powder all over the place.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good idea.
For the first part.
Okay. All right.
All right. Because there's all kinds of powder all over here.
Okay, so where am I from? You guys, I was born in a little town called Pasto in the state of Nariño in the country of Colombia, in the great continent of South America. My parents were in the Peace Corps at the time, and the little town that I was born in, I wasn't born in a hospital, I was born in a public health clinic called Clínica Maradíes.
Wow, Matthew's really giving you the entire story.
They asked and they're interested. It was at the base of a dormant volcano named Galeras that has since erupted, and National Geographic did a special on it. So if you want to look up Galeras, I think with Galeras perhaps, it's a volcano, and you can see a special on its erupting, and you can see the town that I was born. Anyway, I was in South America for about 8 months, all over Ecuador, Peru, Colombia. And then I moved to Baltimore, and I lived there for a couple years. Then I lived to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, till I was 12. Then I lived in Kansas City till I finished high school. Then I lived in Northwest Massachusetts for 5 years as a student, and another 5 years as an employee. That's when Robbi Bear came into my life, and everything got a lot better. Why are you doing that? What's going on?
There's a bug in my water.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe it'll make it taste better. And then I moved to Savannah, Georgia for a while, where I met Principal Schaefer's mom and dad while Robbi was in grad school. Then I moved back to Baltimore for a couple years, and then...
Step 1, save the bugs out of your water.
Very nice. And then I moved to Chestertown. We were going to be here for 1 year, and Robbi bait and switched on me, and that was 14 years ago. So that is my history, you guys. Who's my first girlfriend? My first girlfriend is an actress named Leah Thompson. I was very much in love with her. She was the star of a great movie called Howard the Duck. And I had the novel version of Howard the Duck, which I would read at night before I went to bed, and I would cry silently to myself because I loved Leah so much. She was also Marty McFly's dad in Back to the Future.
Marty McFly's mom.
Not. And we did a little video at one point where I read from my childhood diary about how much I loved Leah Thompson. It was very sincere, and we put it on Twitter. Yeah. And Leah Thompson found it on Twitter.
Found it and liked it.
And she liked it and tweeted at me, "What a dreamboat," which is a famous line from Back to the Future. And that was the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
I'm going to interrupt Matthew's love song to Leah.
Why?
I just wanted to show you some different paints that I have.
Okay.
So these are Japanese watercolors, which function sort of
so pretty.
similarly to gouache, and they're I'm afraid they're kind of expensive, but they're beautiful, and they do a really nice job of getting that opaque quality, which means it's not see-through. It's pretty solid.
Are you going to use them today?
I'm going to use them today because they have some good colors in there for balloons. Now, what color do we want these balloons, you guys?
I am going to do the thing, Robbi.
Yeah?
Where I put you on the YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, on the
Instagram. Okay, so what color do we want the balloons, and what color do we want
Friends, Robbi is going to paint her illustration from yesterday of the 20 balloons and the bicycle. So I'm going to turn
I'm thinking that either
around.
Yellow balloons, red bicycle, or yellow bicycle, red balloons.
Robbi, say hello to the Instagram crowd.
Hi, Instagram crowd.
And Robbi is using her fancy Japanese watercolors because she is fancy and half Japanese.
There you go.
Right? Is that your rationale?
That was not my rationale.
There are lots of beautiful colors, and she needs to paint 20 balloons. Okay. Can she do it,
friends?
I'm
going to paint my bicycle yellow, and the balloons, some of the balloons red. Oh, this is a little hard because my...
Where did I go to high school, says Amy Schaefer, and I went to high school at Shawnee Mission South. Amy went to Shawnee Mission West, which was a rival school. I sometimes competed against people from Shawnee Mission West in the forensics competitions. You guys, I did these competitions where I would do 10-minute little one-person plays where I would play all of the characters.
Oh my gosh, that must have been insufferable.
It was awesome, and it was great, and I went to the state competition, and I won the state competition in dramatic interpretation. I did, Robbi. I did, my junior year of high school. And I went to the national competition in Fargo, North Dakota, and I placed 15th nationally in dramatic interpretation.
Pretty good, man.
Thank you, my friend.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think that helped me get into college.
Well, and that's where you met me, so it was all worth it.
It was worth it.
Hey, those insufferable hours.
Look at that red balloon. Look at it, shiny McPhee. You guys who are watching it on YouTube, you don't get the shine because you don't get the angle, and you can't see Robbi's beautiful palette of paint. So join us over there if you want to on the Robbi and Matthew YouTube feed. So
I'm going to paint these all solid for the time being, and I'm going to go back in later with the...
Oh, these colors are beautiful, Robbi. Can I just say? I love them. Yep.
You can say. I'm going to go back in with a highlight and the shadows later.
What? I pushed the wrong button and now people are looking at my face. There we go. This is much better. I'm sorry about that, you guys.
Any more questions?
Yeah, let's see. That
aren't about Matthew's storied past.
I know. My SIL went to SM
Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Evil sizer. Wow. Okay, friends, we need some more questions. We've run out of questions, and soon I'm going to I'm going to start lying. I'm going to start lying about Robbi's past. If you don't pose some actual interrogative statement question things.
Okay.
Yes, Robbi?
I have a question.
Please, what is the question?
If you were, I think this is a question that one of our children gave us the other day. If you were to come up with what was the question? Some kind of machine that could do anything that you wanted. What would the machine do?
Right.
You had a good answer, but I can't remember what it was.
What did I say the answer was? The machine. This isn't the machine that would. Oh, this is the machine that would tell me exactly what I needed to do at any given time to feel as good as possible. Like it would say, eat 3 crackers, and my blood sugar would be balanced, or go run 3 miles, whatever, or take 20-minute nap. I don't know why it has that kind of voice, but I want the machine to look into my soul and my body and tell me exactly how to feel as good as possible. Because I never know, you guys. I'm always guessing. We have a question from Sarah Downey Robinson. Robbi, is this a pencil and watercolor? What's happening here? Can you describe?
This is pen and ink. So I did all the line work with pen and ink. And the coloring is gouache, which is just like what's the opposite of transparent?
Translucent.
No.
Opaque.
Opaque.
Yeah.
It's an opaque watercolor.
Got it.
So it's easier to put down the color in one swash instead of like going back and having to paint over and over and over again.
Cool. Maris wants to know what your favorite food is. Hers is pork roll. Is it really pork roll, Maris? Is that true, or are you just diving into the sub-theme of the week? In any case, my favorite food, you guys, I don't know if I feel a little lowbrow saying this, but I love a perfect piece of pizza. I like a good thin piece of pizza. There's a place in Williamstown, Massachusetts called Hot Tomatoes Pizza that might have the perfect pizza in the entire universe. I would not be surprised if Maris and Maeve have perhaps tasted that at some point, because I knew that they lived in physical proximity to Hot Tomatoes Pizza at one point in their past. I also love a good burrito with sour cream and guacamole and pulled pork and some rice and beans.
What was the thing that you always got when we used to go to that restaurant?
What restaurant?
The Golden West Cafe.
Oh my gosh. Huevos Rancheros.
Oh yeah, you love that.
Oh, I love huevos rancheros. A good huevos rancheros is the best. I love a good Italian sub with fresh sliced cold cuts.
Do you think you
would like a delicious piece of bread?
A pork roll or a Taylor ham?
I do think I would like that. It looks like a delicious breakfast sandwich. I've got to tell you guys, I like spam. I like fried spam. So I have really sort of pedestrian tastes.
Yes, you do.
But there you go. What is Jasper's favorite food? Jasper's favorite food is whatever you don't put on his plate. Whatever he doesn't have is what he wants. He is a very difficult young man who is adding great joy and spontaneity to our lives right now, but who we occasionally, when he goes into the hallway at dinner time because he's being too loud, we say, how do we keep him in the hallway a little bit longer?
We have taught our children to exile themselves into the hallway if they want to scream, because we only have one room in our, 2 rooms in our house, but one room that we all live in. And so,
Waylon likes enchiladas. I love enchiladas.
Yes.
Waylon, you have had Grandma Judy's enchiladas just like I have. So you and I came up on the same enchiladas. Becky, mother of Maris and Maeve, concurs. Hot Tomatoes does have the best pizza, and they have had it. I'm glad that you guys have had that experience. What are we doing this summer? Guys, what we're doing this summer is different than what we usually do. A very strange thing about Robbi and me is that we go to Alaska almost every summer to do commercial salmon fishing, which means that since she was a little kid, about 1.5 years old, Robbi has gone with her family to the Alaskan tundra, which means way out in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
Past
you didn't even try to hide that silent
past the reach of roads. You have to charter a little tiny propeller plane to get where we go and land on the beach instead of an actual runway. And we put nets into the water that are attached to ropes and pulleys and anchored into the sand. So we don't fish from a boat; we fish from the shore. But we're not going to go this summer for the first time ever because of the crazy stuff happening all around the world and needing to sort of be safe and smart. So
those communities in Alaska, they're very small communities, and they don't have easy access to hospitals. There are very few. There's no hospital. Like if we get hurt up there, then you have to get flown out in a medevac, but you have to go hundreds of miles.
We are already past the end of this show and need to start a new show. So, friends, we're going to end it. We're going to start a new one. We'll see you in just a minute. And I will answer what is your favorite class, Matthew, on the other side of things. So, guys, we will see you. We're going to go start the Real McCoy show. And sorry to
That's as far
leave
as we got, yes.
in media race.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay.